But let's talk about Fulham for a moment, shall we, Dave? And their kind of, I don't know, security as a solid mid-table Premier League team. Because when they've been good this season, Fulham, they've been great. And lately, it's one man in particular who is potentially the new Aleksandr Mitrovic based on style, do you think? Muniz? Do you think that's the case? Because his form at the minute is superb.
I think there's similarities there. I think if you look at it, at the first goal, Harry Wilson's goal, if you look at how well he battled and marauds through and actually against the odds manages to release the ball to Harry Wilson, it's an absolutely superb finish. And just how great he is in the air as well. I do think there are some similarities between them. I think taking in consideration his first 10 league games this year, I think he went without a goal, didn't he? It was almost a Rasmus Højlund sort of resurgence, 5 goals in 5, and all of a sudden he should really be up there for Player of the Month, you would think, with just how well he's performed. The second goal was absolutely superb, but he looks like a real good prospect. Only 22 years of age as well.
Well, his form only comes about because he's deputising apparently for Raul Jimenez. That seems a bit weird now, doesn't it, as well?
Well, I was going to say, don't you think it's interesting that his form has improved in February after Fulham went and got Amanda Broja in January, right at the end of the month as well? So I think it's a good thing though, like the competition for places, and he's taken it upon himself to really up his game. I think the Mitrovic comparison is actually a really good one. He's a bit quicker than Mitrovic, if anything, so that probably helps his case. There was a moment in the second half where Andreas Pereira broke through and really should have made it 3 there and then. And that, again, was Muniz back defending and winning the ball quite aggressively in his own half and launching the play. And that's the sort of tenacity that Fulham benefited from loads last season. It's the same that they've got in midfield with someone like Paulinho, who's obviously been missing the last couple of games. So for him to kind of lead the way like that, we know stylistically that's the kind of forward that Marco Silva appreciates.
I've enjoyed watching his games lately as well. I feel like, again, he's an entertaining striker to watch, how he holds up the ball and how he involves the rest of the team in play when they're going forward. And Fulham are a fascinating team generally because of how they got promoted back to the Premier League initially, relying on Mitrovic for goals. And we all kind of almost predicted a bit of a level of struggle, didn't we, for Fulham to a degree, maybe in the lower half of the table rather than battling for the top half. And they've tried to replace Mitrovic with the likes of Raul Jimenez, who, to be fair to him, had a bit of a renaissance, didn't he, in the middle of the season and had a bit of a purple patch in front of goal. But long term, he's not the solution, is he, Dave? And I think that for me feels like that's why this is the natural heir to Aleksandr Mitrovic, because Muniz is still got age on his side. And I think for that Fulham attack seems to offer a lot more to his game than Jimenez does.
Absolutely, yeah. And I feel he really complements, I think, that front line, I think, in terms of the inventiveness that obviously Iwobi and Wilson provide, and Andreas Pereira, I think, has performed really well of late. I think we've got to give a mention to, I think, in particularly in the last couple of games, obviously Paulinho is suspended, but I think since Salukic has come into the team, I think Fulham have been a little bit worried about that disrupting the midfield a little bit too much, but I think he performed really well at Old Trafford, and he's come into this game and actually, even though they only had 29% possession in this game, there wasn't a massive difference in between the attempts on goal. Actually, Fulham really exposed Brighton in the areas that they knew they could, and Muniz was a massive part of them.
Do you know what's worth noting as well? I hate to rub this in a little bit, boys. Fulham are 12th right now, which might sound a bit underwhelming, but they're actually 9 points behind United in 6th. Now, bear in mind, United are 11 points behind Villa, who are 4th. They're actually closer in the league to Fulham. That shows how tight that area of the table actually is, and actually how good Fulham have been lately. They've missed a bit of consistency at times this season, but they're already on 35 points. Now, at the start of the season, when they begrudgingly lost Mitrovic, if you'd said to them with 11 games left, you'll have 35 points and certainly be safe from relegation, and actually you might be able to look up the table at Europe, they'd have snapped your hand off at that. They're 4 points behind Brighton now.